Let's start with a quiet time tonight. Just close your eyes and relax your body and open your mind to the higher realms of divine love and light. Feel your body relaxing. Feel the power generating from this circle of light. And it's getting brighter and brighter. And it's moving upward into the higher realms of divine love and light. And as we lift our consciousness, the entities and teachers who are going to talk to us reach down to us. Now let us feel their presence and make their contact. Realize that everyone here is as much a part of the channel as the one who speaks, because you're lending your vibrations to this circle of light. See a giant being of light in the middle of our circle, holding the vibrations high, and realize that your teachers and guides are all here, and many others from the other side who want to learn as you're learning. And let us send them love, God's love. Thank you, Father. I sometimes start with writing even the day before to get in tune with what's going to come. And the writing tonight, the title says, Take a Step. Take a step Godward. Take a step inward. Let the bounty and beauty of God lift you upward in consciousness. Feel at home in the presence of God, for you and He are one. Be in conscious awareness that which you are in His presence. Take a step into the light of His understanding, letting His knowing be reflected in your being, letting His love shine in your eyes. Take a step upward to His glory, away from the dimness of the earth, into the waiting arms of love. Take a step into a new life, free from fear and filled with love.
Diane.
Good evening, my dear ones. This is Don, coming to you from these realms of love and light. This is indeed a pleasure to be with you in your circle of light. And I would say to you, be not concerned if there is a small number. When you come to this class, to this gathering, it is the time for you to be here. And it is your time to hear what is being said. It is a bright, shining circle that you have tonight, and I want you to think about the ones who are on this side of the veil, who have come to learn as you have. There are many, many more than there are in the physical. And they have heard about this circle, and they have come to sit in on your lesson. And I would have you to know that there are many groups around the world, just as this, who are making contact with these dimensions of love and light to tune in, to bring down the light and the love to the physical plane. And I'd like to talk to you about this tonight, how when you come here in one accord, you are very powerful, much more powerful than you realize. And as you hold your thoughts high and let divine love flow through you while the message is being said, you spread it all over this planet and out, even out into the universe. For God's love is not limited in any way. And realize this as you move through your days. Realize that you are and can be an open channel for God's love to flow through. Let it flow through you often, and let it cleanse you of all past negation, and allow God's love to be your, what shall we say, your steadfast companion. For it is a shield against the darkness. It is a shield against the world. And when you think of this, and when you think of it in this way, then you do not let the world come in on you. You allow God's love to work through you, and allow God's love to speak through you, and to hear what is being said, raising your vibrations and your inner sight above the physical world to be in His presence as you go through your day. This is possible, although sometimes you think it is not. Sometimes you get caught up in the world, but be not concerned about that. If you have a bad day, as you call it, let it go by the wayside and be determined to have a better day that will come forward. As we look at the class tonight, to take a step. When you are at a beginning place, when you're at a point in your life when you are not certain what you should do, take a step Godward. Take a step inward. And by doing this, you can open your eyes and your ears, the inner eye and the inner ear, to hear and to know. Some of you have had beautiful experiences in these past few weeks and days, and I would have you to continue this, to continue with your understanding, to move upward in consciousness, and let God's love be the power that lifts you above this world. You do not have to be entangled with the vibrations of this world. If you surround yourself with God's love and light, then that is your shield. And when you remind yourself that it is there often through the day, then it does not diminish. And it is good to start your day by sending God's love ahead of you. Remember to do this, no matter what else you do. Put this number one priority. Let His love go before you, and let it be your bulwark in this, as some of you say, crazy world. It seems to be a crazy world, but it is for your learning. The props that are set on the stage have been set by you and many others, and by the lords of karma, for your learning, for your growth, for your understanding. And yes, you bump up against these things, and these things bump up against you, and you feel unprotected at times. Do not allow this to happen. call on God that is within you, for he is the life force that you are, and let his power come forth and be your shield. His love for you is so great, my dear ones, that the universe is continually expanding to contain it. When you think of a powerful being such as God and realize the magnitude of his power and his love, and you tune into this, you have it also. You are just as powerful as God is, if you so allow. And if you build that foundation to stand upon and move forward in consciousness, you can draw on his power at any time, and you should be continually drawing on God's power by keeping in touch with him. When you take a step upward in consciousness, you get closer and closer to God, for he is within you. He is sharing your life with you, my dear ones. He knows your every thought, your every feeling, and he is with you continually. For there is none other but God in the whole universe. This subject matter tonight is an interesting one. And as you grow to another step upward. And I want to talk to you about this so that you remember to take that next step upward. When you grow to a certain place and you know that you have grown, then shore up your foundation of understanding. The ingredient to your foundation is understanding. Understanding the laws of divine love and light, the laws of life eternal. And as your understanding grows, your foundation is stronger and stronger. So take that step upward, but bring with it the foundation so that you can stand upon it, and it will hold you up under any emergency, under any situation, and you can depend on it. Yes, there are times when you allow your little self to come in and take over and run the show, and you know when this is happening now. You understand it, but do not give any power to it by concern or fighting it. This is not the way to do. Your master teacher said, resist not evil, but overcome evil with good. And anything that is holding you back from being a channel for God to work through, from being loving at all times, could be termed as evil. We have talked to you much of the time about there is no such thing as duality, no such thing as good and evil. But we have to use your language, and it is intertwined into your language so much that it is almost impossible to communicate with you without using it. As the years go by on your planet, you will do away with your language and speaking and use mental communication, thought transference, and it will be a beautiful, beautiful thing as you move into this. You can start now by practicing with those that are around you, and some of you are already doing this, and it is a wonderful experience to project an image, a thought, a feeling, a knowing. In 3 seconds, that would take you maybe 3 hours to say in words, and it would not be as complete in words, because words are so misleading. Everyone has a different concept of what a certain word means. And so, as you communicate with the inner voice, with the inner image, and allow this transference of communication to be much more pure and much more in line with understanding what you want to communicate and what you want to receive. There is a beautiful dawning around the corner of your planet, and be not concerned about the things that are happening today. There's a cleansing going on in the planet, and this cleansing has to take place before you can move into the new. You are already in the new age, but into it enough to benefit by the wonderful things that are coming about. First comes the cleansing, then comes reaping of the rewards of this beautiful time that is ahead of you. Be not discouraged if you are still cleansing yourself and others are cleansing themselves around you. And sometimes it gets a little rough for you, you think. But this is something that is very important and should be understood by everyone who are open to hear. As we move into the new age, greater and greater things are happening. My dear ones, the plan has been made long ago for your planet and this golden age, this Aquarian age, as you call it. The plan and the mold, the outline, has been there for some time now, and it may not fit exactly what has been planned, but it will be close. And those who are incarnating now, who are of the light, are higher. Each generation is higher than the one before. There are those still of the darkness who are still incarnating, but I tell you they will not be able to incarnate much longer because the vibrations are too high and they could not withstand the vibrations. They will be taken care of because they are God's children, and they will go to another plane or another planet that is similar to what this has been, to work out their karma and to gain understanding. But you who stick with the planet at this wonderful opportunity, it is the greatest opportunity since this planet has been formed to be in the physical. And I would have you to know this. I've told you this several times, but I want to remind you how important it is to remember that you are gods in the making. You are gods in the making. Realize this in the depths of your being. You are made in the image and likeness of the Creator. And so what else could you be as you grow in consciousness, as you move higher with greater understanding? I would also remind you that you have gained much in other times, in other lifetimes, in other times from dimensions, and that is still there. You have shut off your memory from it because you wanted to have certain opportunities in this incarnation. Some of you remember things that have happened from the past, and as you go through the class that you call time travel, you learn to bring this up to the surface, the past memories of those things that are still with you in this incarnation. But you have gained much, and when you go back home, or when you lift your consciousness to a place where you can handle it, where your understanding is great enough, then these memories will come to you. Most of you were in Atlantis and Lemuria when they were continents, and you gained much and understanding there. And a few have lost much too, because they allowed their little self to take over after the psychic powers were developed. And so you have to start all over again. This is not bad, because life is eternal, and life is to be lived where you are, in your consciousness, in your thoughts, in your feelings. And until you get it right, until you understand completely and thoroughly, it is better to do it over and over again. It may seem too much for you when you think about it, but in your higher self, you know that it is what you should do, and it will come out right when you bring about the understanding through your higher self. For those who have taken the time travel class, I would encourage you to use the higher self more often. And for those who have not, you have a treat waiting you to contact the higher self of your being and work through it, because this is that part of you that is in constant contact with God and has access to all knowing, all ability, and all power. And through this, you have that and can bring it down into your physical life. Much of the time, you have too much attention on the physical world and the problems, as you call them. But remember, it is just a play on a stage, and you cannot expect this to happen overnight. You cannot expect the golden age to come in its fullest without some cleansing. And this cleansing is going on now. Send love often into these places where they are having the cleansing. Send love to those who are the leaders of this planet. Send love to all the trouble spots in the world. Continually send love. This is a way, when your master's teacher said, pray without ceasing. When you allow God's love to flow through you continuously, then you are accepting this challenge of praying without ceasing. Shall we stop at this time and give you opportunity to ask questions?
Fine. Yes, I'd like to know a little bit more about this cleansing that has gone on in the planet. And
would you repeat this, please?
yes, I would like to know, could you just talk a little bit more about the cleansing that is going on right now, and what it would consist of and everything?
The plan, is this what you said?
No, the cleansing.
The cleansing,
Yeah.
the cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is where you have the earthquakes and you have the floods. You see, the law of karma is exact, and it has to be worked out. And those who do not understand the laws of life are suddenly awakened sometimes when these drastic things happen to them. But it is a time of bringing about the cleansing of the negative vibrations through the history of this planet since it was formed and since man came upon it. Most of the thinking has been negative and destructive. And so there's a dark cloud of negative thoughts that surrounds your planet. And this is why that you are cut off from our plane, our dimension. It was never intended that you should walk up this plane alone. It was intended that you should see us and hear us, just as you see and hear each other. But through many centuries and much negativity, through your war, this has been cut off through the cloud of negativity that surrounds the planet. So every day it is good to send God's love into all those in darkness, and send love to the planet, and cover this planet with a thick blanket of God's love. Make it a daily routine and reinforce it several times a day. As you do this, it helps to cleanse you and helps you in the ways that you need help. This does not quite answer your question, does it?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
We cause these basically by our negative thinking, don't we?
Yes. Anything that is out of balance, man has brought upon himself. You are responsible for the whole planet, each one of you, because you are of this planet. And even though you may not have added to the negativity as much as many others, you still are of the planet and are just as responsible as everyone else. Now, when you do rise above this physical plane, and as the Master said, I have overcome the world, then your responsibility ends in a sense. But you will want to stay or work from these dimensions to help bring it about to a finish and have the total cleansing and have heaven on earth, as the Master's prayer said. It is important to remember this. He said, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And bringing down the kingdom of God on earth is the work that you are about. Those of you who know the truth, and know part of the truth anyway, and who are learning more every day, this is your challenge, is to bring it first within yourself, to bring the kingdom of God within yourself. And as you do this, you see, it automatically brings it down to the planet. And when you were having your quiet time and thinking about the vibrations raising, and even now as we are having this communication, it is adding to the light and the love vibrations and helping to dispel some of the darkness on this plane and on this planet. Are there other questions this evening?
You can sign another question.
Yeah.
We are of this planet, and part of the truth that we have learned is that we only have the ability to change ourselves. If we see someone around us that we're in contact with, that we feel they are reaching out, or they want something or need something, what is the best way to help? Or can we, or should we, or...
The first thing to do is send them God's love unlabeled. Do not label it, because God's love is all-powerful and all-wise. And if they do ask for help, then give them a little bit, not too much. So much of the time, we are over-enthused about what we have learned, and we dump it all in their lap, and it overwhelms them. Give them just a little. And as they assimilate that into their consciousness, then you can give them more. You see, everyone has their own timing, and it's like the apple tree. The apples are green. You don't pick them then. You leave them and let the sun ripen them. And that is the same with the individuals on this planet. When they get tired of butting their head against a brick wall, sometime they will say, "This hurts too much and I think I will stop it." When they get so tired of having a life that is unfulfilled and that they do not understand, and they seem lost and alone, this is God's opportunity to reach out, and you are the channels that God can work through. But be cautious, and just a little at a time. But send them love every day, and as often as you think of them. Any time that someone comes into your mind, that is a signal for you to send them God's love. Does this help your understanding?
Yeah.
Partly help. Yeah. I know that it is difficult to not to hold back. It is difficult to not want to give them everything that you know, but you have to think where they are in consciousness. When you start in the first grade, you don't give the first grade or sixth grade work or high school work. You start with where they are and give them a little at a time and a little more every day, and they will reach the high school education, but it will be a little at a time, and as they can assimilate it into their consciousness. This word assimilate is a very important word. It is like the food that you eat. You digest it and then you assimilate it into your bloodstream, part of it anyway, and it feeds your body. And it is the same with spiritual food. We have to be cautious about not overfeeding, because it might frighten them, and it would take them longer then. They would close their mind, and they could miss a lifetime, or at least a few years of not going on. It is always better to underfeed than to overfeed. Is this clear to you? Yeah.
It's a matter of giving. Is it a problem? I give as much as I can, and then that just starts them asking. And they send me more letters with $1 worth of stamps on it, or more gimme messages in it. Not only that, but I'm sure they pass my name around. I get 4 or 5 a day until I'm just fed up on it. And it seems to me that they need the prayers more than they need the money, because if they couldn't pray, they would have the money on their own. And I mean, unless they know how to use this, the money's no good to them anyway.
Yes, you're talking about the charity around your planet.
I mean, I want to help the animals. Gracious sakes, I do. But when I'm overloaded with the letter, I want to do the whole thing in the waste basket.
Yeah. Be not concerned about this, and use your inner guidance. But do not be negative about it. Try not to be negative about it.
But why don't you think that the prayers, don't you think that they need those prayers because they don't know how to handle their own selves, and they won't know how to handle the money and send them either?
Yes. You see, when you hold concern in this way, you are not helping. But when you just do what you feel is right where the money is concerned.
Without letting it affect.
That's correct. And keep sending love, unlabeled love.
Thank you. I need that, because the letters coming in all the day, They bother me.
Yes. Well, then,
Get bothered anymore.
yeah, you need not be. Be at peace about it. Do what you feel is right, and keep sending love.
Because there's not enough money a person like myself has to give every cent. I mean, all the letters that come from all the different sectors, I'm interested in all of them, and I don't have money enough to give all of them.
But you have something much more important than money, my dear. You have the understanding of God's love, and God's love can accomplish so much, much, much more than your mind could even comprehend.
Well, the money comes through the love, does it not?
Yes, it comes through the love, but your love spending, you see, is much more powerful than giving money. Give what money you think you should and what you are led to do. Do not pay any attention to what the letters say. You listen to your heart. You listen to the God within you and act upon that. In your talking, it sounds like you feel a little guilty because you can't give more. And do not do this. Just follow your inner guidance in a relaxed and peaceful way, and be at peace about it. Everyone and all the animals, all creation is always in the hands of God. And He is using those such as you in this circle to help Him. And
We tag your name around, and I'm sure that they give it to every single person that can sign.
yet be not concerned about this. It does not concern you.
All right, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
God bless you. Those who have an open heart and want to give do not always realize how much they have to give. You see, on your plane, you have put value in a monetary way, in money. And when you measure values in this way, it is incorrect, and it does not come out correctly. If I can remind you of one of the disciples was concerned about paying taxes, and the master teacher said, "Go catch a fish." And he brought the fish back, and it had a coin in its mouth. And he said, "What is on the coin?" And he said, "But Caesar." And he says, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar, but render unto God what is God." And it is that balance when you are on this physical plane. You do have to make money to feed and sustain your body, to have a car, to transport it, and so many other things. But when you spend all of your time in doing that, then your soul is left unattended, and it sometimes shrivels up and is stunted because it is not fed correctly. Remember to have the balance between your spirit and between your mind and your physical. And if you keep this balance, then you are in harmony with the music of life. Are there other questions this evening? It is good to speak of these things. It is good to ask questions, and when something troubles you, or when you do not understand, or when you have allowed the world to come in and let your mind be confused, this is a good time to speak up and allow the understanding of God's light and love that is flowing through this channel and through myself and through many other higher beings. As I've told you, each time you come together on these weekly meetings, there are several higher beings that are directing the speaking, that are directing the message and directing the answers that you ask. Their love is all blended together with the love of this channel, and we work through your language, which is difficult, or we are used to communicating just by speaking, just by thinking, and this is such a much better way. But you will reach this in this golden age where you do not have to be limited by the physical language.
One of my neighbors has all kinds of things that she said, a lot of money left her, and she everywhere your eyes look, see something expensive. But I was over there the other day, and she had a woman come to church. I think it was visiting, and that woman was just like a ray of sunlight. And it was just like her body was made of balsa wood. She was just like, you know, this Jesus would have wanted her to be.
Yes.
And I mean, it was a terrific.
And you will learn to see those who are coming from the light and love that God is continually pouring out through all of his creation. Those who are open.
I felt that woman was very far as then.
Yes. And be grateful for this. And know that there are many more coming to your planet every day. Those who are incarnating now, there are many higher beings coming in. And as the ones of darkness, or should we say ignorance or lack of understanding is a better way of saying it, they will incarnate somewhere else if they are not high enough in consciousness, because they would not be able to withstand the higher vibrations. You see, the planet's vibration is not just increasing every day, it is accelerating. And it is rapidly moving upward. And you can tell this just by the things that are happening in your world. Many of you were astounded when the wall came down and every little country now wants its independence and wants to have the freedom to live their life as they want. And soon there will be no dictators. It will be one world and very little government. But the ones that are here will have contact within themselves of the God who directs their thoughts and their words, and peace and harmony will come to this planet. Look forward to this day and send love into it every day, because it is just around the corner.
Even with those million people, you feel God light and God present there in a terrific way, right in the middle of those million people.
Yeah. And you see, when such a one as you described, that is light and the light is shining from them, everyone who comes into their presence is affected by this, and you were affected by it. But even those who do not know are affected in a positive and loving way. And you never know, my dear one, when just a smile or a word of encouragement can turn someone into the way of light that might have gone the other way. So remember this when you're dealing with others on this plane. Be kind, be gentle with them, and be loving.
This fellow is a terrific example of a spontaneous man.
Yeah.
It was Sheila, it was way beyond in what I'd seen. It did show a lot of it.
Yes, and be grateful that you were shown this. And the Master said, even as you have done it unto the least of these, you have done it unto me. And these are things that are very important to remember. He gave us the guidelines to go by. Use them and remember them when you're going through your day. Are there other questions this evening? This is a beautiful circle of light, and there is much to learn. There will always be more to learn. And as you keep your foundation strong and solid, and keep shoring it up as you grow, then you have something to stand upon, the understanding of the laws of life. When you have this, my dear ones, then you can take a step upward or a few steps upward every day and know the truth, and the truth is setting you free. And to be at peace about the world and those around you. Do not allow them to upset you in any way. God has given them free will, and so should you. They are doing the best they can at the moment, not the best they know how intellectually, but the best they can with their past conditioning and what they have to work with. Remember this and continue to send them love, and be grateful for all these opportunities that you are getting now. This is a very beautiful time, and it does not seem so when you're looking at it from the surface of your plane. But you see there are many changes going on, and the cleansing is going on. And the more love that you send, the less the cataclysms that you think of them will be. There's still much cleansing to be done. But as you send God's love to the planet, to all those on the planet, then this helps to postpone the great cataclysms. Then the more that you can postpone it, the longer that you can, I should say, the less it will be when it comes, and less intense it will be. So you have great opportunities. Take advantage of these opportunities. Are there any questions or things that you would like to say this evening? And let us part in this way, but I want to impress upon you, on your mind, and upon your conscious awareness that we are always with you, my dear one. You are never alone, and we always are at your side. We are only a thought away. Remember this, and when you feel a little weak or you feel in need, ask for it, because we cannot do anything to help you unless you ask, because of the free will. It is a very powerful law, and we are not allowed to. And those who do override the free will are creating karma for themselves. But remember to ask, and then we can do so much more. God bless you, each one. We love you dearly. Good evening. And Greg, can we stand and hold hand? Okay. I just think in that hold of hand, and that bring coming together physically. We're bringing down the spirits of love and light and healing power, ourselves and all others on this planet, and all those connected with its planets on other dimensions. Let us feel time to rub playing around this circle and building up in momentum and power, filling this bloom, spilling out over this city, uncovering this planet. Let us feel right out of the whole universe, for it is unlimited. And as we open to send it, it always comes there. We are open channel for God's love. Let us send from ahead of us into this meet, into our every thought, word, and deed, and every situation and every power. Thank you.
You think that Mr. Dixie, that calendar, I'm full, and I'm in 60 that way around.
Well,